oil and gas subsidiaries is, ramping up the rhetoric on removing on removing subsidies. So, I mean, look at this: the continued regulation of the pump price of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, is causing stagnation and impoverishment of the masses. This is coming from the federal government. I'm reading it from this Punch article. Speaking through the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, the government stated that it was high time that the regulation of the downstream oil sector is fully halted. Put it to a stop. Providing answers to frequently asked questions on deregulation in a document made available to the media on Sunday, so just yesterday, the PPPRA, Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, stated that petrol was rarely sold at the approved rates in most states. This, it said, was why it has become vital to fully deregulate the cost of the commodity, as its continued regulation was mainly benefiting the rich at the expense of the poor masses. I am stunned. This is coming from the PPPRA. So now NNPC and the PPPRA, now they're like, look, we can't afford this. We can't afford subsidies at the end. Now, you're hurting the poor. You're hurting the poor. Also, they also stated that outside of Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, petrol is rarely priced at its official 162 naira per liter. In some rural areas, they are higher, and you also find that they mix it up and put water inside, and then it can damage engines and so on. Look, it's yeah, there it is.
Why is it announced as a surprise? It's not a surprise. I mean, did we just?
But the thing is that
or is it that some people are not getting paid anymore?
No, it's the source. It's the source it's coming from. This is,
yes.
I mean, this is something that we've known for quite a while, but because Labour has said, look, if you move this pump price up, we're going to strike and shut this country down. And there's been ongoing dialogue between the federal government and Labour. And so NNPC has been sending out reports after report. Last week, they said that 6 projects to the tune of about 26 billion naira had not been funded because so much money was going to subsidy. They said they're not sending as much money to the federation accounts because of subsidy. Mele Kyari has come out and said it's not affordable. So now the PPPRA, whose pricing template and website haven't really worked very well for Lord knows how long. You want to go there and see what I think Yinka has talked about as well. Maybe Bengal, somebody has kept sending messages how you can never get the templates of PPPRA. But it's just, it's interesting to see more official governments apparatus come out and say, okay, this is not affordable. We can't continue this. Look, this subsidy should have been removed way back in 2012. There were mass protests against it. We could have removed it then. Here we are. But that's very remarkable here coming from the PPPRA. Look, something has to give because oil is above $70 a barrel now. And in fact, it's suggested that subsidies are at 132 or 120, 127, 132 billion a month. Might jump to 200 billion because the landing cost is going to increase with fuel prices coming. So, it's again very, very.
There's something else around this petrol pricing. It's not petrol pricing per se, but just the landing costs and all that antecedent costs that was mentioned in the speech. So I read this article that made a comparison between his 2019 speech, Democracy Day speech, and his present speech. I'm talking about Buhari. And they made a lot of comparisons, saying that he refuted most of the statements he made then. As also reflecting back at the time where he made, I think it was an erroneous comment that he claimed that his administration was responsible for raising the oil prices to where it was, seeing the gains as recorded. And he actually stated that, the petrol was selling or had been selling at $100 per barrel through that period between 2019 and 2014. And he was corrected and said, no, that was wrong. It was an average of $69. So based off of this claim, I guess my essential question is, does the government have a role to play in ensuring that the cost of petrol, or rather the cost of crude on a global level, stays at at that mark, do they have any effect or any influence on
that? They don't have nothing. Zero. They don't control international price.
How do you?
They don't control any international price.
Why do you reckon that as a gain?
I don't know what. Look, the president at this point, I don't.
He's an amazing guy.
I don't count anything that's. I don't.
MI from Akoka sent in a message. A powerful interview. By the way, Rotus, I meant to ask you, what's the name of that? Okay, yeah, what's the name of that guy? The guy that the camera panned back to after his speech.
His name is Christian Ogodo. He's in Abuja. He's in the Arise TV Abuja studios.
I only have one question for him. I just want to ask him, what went through your mind the first 3 seconds after the camera came back to you after adjusting your tie? What did you think?
It looked like he was stunned. He was stunned.
Dude, that guy, you know why that tweet, that meme went viral? It's because he reflected the emotions of millions. That was it. And there's this ongoing argument. People are wondering, was the guy sure that, was he aware that the camera had? I think he was. He just didn't care.
Yes,
let's take messages. MI from Akoka says, if today was Tech Friday, I would have said that democracy in Nigeria is a bad written code with too many bugs in it. The government just realized that the sky is blue and the grasses are green. Is this the part where we clap for them? Nothing where MI no go see for just internet. Thank you, MI. Benga Komo says, I'm tired of the argument that only the rich benefit from all subsidies. When I buy 4 liters of petrol for my better pass my neighbor generator, do I buy at a higher price because I'm poor? Does the PPPRA know the price of Gary in the markets? That's Benga's first question. And then he says, will the price of goods and services remain the same if all prices are removed? Is that a benefit to the poor? Sometimes the way people talk as though oil subsidies is a panacea for all our processes. And Frank says, good morning, guys. Do not be deceived by that press release. It's a playbook written by some private sector guy. We know what we know, by the way. Aren't we having too many public holidays in the country? It's impacting productivity. Frank, please leave that.
No, but Frank is right. And I've said
right,
before,
but still, we need public holidays. We're too stressed not to have enough public holidays like this. Come on.
Well, it's too many. No, but so I agree with Frank on productivity. So Benga's, but look, Benga, rich, wealthier Nigerians, they have more cars, they have more homes, they consume more. It is a tax cut. I nobody likes me saying this, but I'm telling you, it is a tax cut to wealthier Nigerians because they consume more petrol than poor Nigerians. And I know because where Benga is coming from is that if you increase the price, it affects the poor. But look, subsidy savings can go to other projects also. The only issue is the trust deficits in the country. Can we trust the government to take the subsidy savings? And I say do helicopter money. Take the savings and distribute it to maybe level 1 to level 7 civil. Just give the money away. So at least a number of as many Nigerians as we can to try and cushion the impact. But it's richer Nigerians, they consume more. So they are the ones that benefit more from it.
What's this talk about with the PEF moving to tackle fuel diversion and adulteration with technology?
Petroleum Equalization Fund. This is based on Buhari's interview with that he had last week, where he was asked about subsidy, and the president said, "Well, if you try to remove subsidy, the Nigerians will revolt or something." And after that, we need to secure the borders and stop smuggling of fuel to go into Cameroon. I hear our fuel gets as far as Sudan. Look, they're trying to stop fuel diversion. That is not the case. That's following. You're going after a symptom rather than the illness. The illness is the price. Because the price is so low here, smugglers go take it to Cameroon and Sudan where they can.
Because it's more profitable that way.
Exactly. So when you remove the subsidy, you end all this smuggling. Just Nigeria.
Who's our petroleum minister again?
Huh?
I said, who's our petroleum minister again?
Oh yeah, we know who he is. As if Oga at the top.
There's more stories.
Yes. Real quick. Lagos Ibadan Rail. It's officially, I believe, the transit trips will begin tomorrow. According to the NRC, as the Nigerian Rail Commission, I believe, President Buhari came to Lagos last week. And by the way, when he came to Lagos, Apapa trucks were cleared. I just want to put that out. The trucks were cleared for the president to come into, and now they'll be back tomorrow. So, but I'm excited to try this. I'm going to Ebute Metta. I don't. Maybe I'll plan for a weekend. I'm going to get on that train. I'm going to head to Ibadan, and I'm going to come back. I'm looking forward to it. We need this. We need this badly. There it is. Lagos Ibadan Rail begins full operations Tuesday. Looking forward. I'll see what that's going to be.
I hear that route has been tested. A friend of mine, I think I mentioned this 2 weeks ago, he visited Lagos just for this case, and he used one of the coaches. He used the business class, and then he curated his journey, his experience, said the different classes, there's 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 for economy, business, and first class. And it's pretty decent. Nice. I think the only con that he mentioned from that trip was the fact that the trains were slow, were unusual.
Yeah, okay. I think I remember you saying that now.
Yes. Apart from that, he had no problem with it.
Hey, I'll take a slow train over. No, we need trains to Abuja. We need rail service, all high speed all over this country, and it's just amazing how we're still not moving fast enough. And I'm excited to try. I'm planning out for maybe a weekend or something.
That would be great.
I've never used rail in this country. Can you believe that? Gosh.
Imagine that. Yeah. It's a beautiful place. You need to go.
Yeah.
Ahmed from Lagos says, when Dangote refinery starts operating, it means that there won't be anything like landing costs. Does it mean that price will come down, i.e. drops, but the fare is that... what goes up in terms of price in Nigeria does not come down. Thank you for that.
Right. Well, theoretically it should come down. We'll see how it works out.
Okay, from UK sent in this one. He said, will removing all subsidies really solve our problem or compound it? I believe it's just a scientific theory without proof. The poor will suffer more. Refineries is the only solution, being an oil-producing nation. And Prince says, I don't believe holidays affect productivity. So many businesses also make more money during public holidays than normal days. Examples are recreational businesses and tourism. My gym closes early today, so go figure. He says, how many businesses observe public holiday? Even financial institutions still operates at the background. All ports and all fields are open, so I do not understand how economy is affected. Well, Prince, it is.
Angel says, there's a good example.
All right,
there's a restaurant near Smooth FM that depends on businesses being open during the week that come and, that's essentially come and people who have lunch and go and eat there.
Yes.
Public essentially take that away from them. They get no business during public holidays. So if you add up too many holidays, that restaurant loses business. Cinemas, recreational businesses will work.
FMCG will be affected greatly. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Angel said, if we're a developed nation, I would agree that the public holidays are too many. But given our current status, we need even more holidays. Nigerians are stressed. Exactly. They said, connecting to the subsidy, remember that they said they won't remove it till March, April, then May, and then at least they kept their word. I guess we all knew this would happen. Instead of that road to Niger, that money should be used to give us more rail routes within Nigeria, is what he said. Benga Kamo says, what's the proportion of the rich in Nigeria? Did a survey not say about 4% of account holders hold up over 90% of the deposits in banks? Does that not say so much about the percentage of the real wealthy compared to the rest of us? Sheil, thank you so much for that. Sheil says 5,000 naira for a slow rail service for 160 kilometers. How's that supposed to impact an average Nigerian really? Sheil, slow train is better than no train.
No train. Exactly.
I think that's the catchphrase for today. Rotus, thanks.
Exactly. Man. Thank you so much. Thanks for all your messages. Thanks, Val.
Yes, please. Stay with us here on Smooth.